Colorado feels like to me. It feels like the Wild West. It feels like there's no chief. It's something there that hasn't been built. So why not me? Why not me build something? Growing up the way that I did, it wasn't like it was extra hard or anything like that. But growing up in just an only child, someone who didn't have a lot of like leadership, I did that from a father position, but like from like a peer position, I didn't really have a lot of that. So I actually had a lot of self-doubt growing up. And the way I carry myself now is because I literally am aware that I had that self-doubt a little bit. I find it extra necessary to carry myself with a certain bravado. I'm not there where I want to be yet, but I'm early. I ain't late.
Travis Drew, welcome, man.
How you doing?
Good. Thank you for coming. Tell me first again where you're from and how it all started for you.
From California, Pasadena to be specific. Started as a artist, not until I got to about adulthood. I wouldn't call myself an artist, but in terms of making music, saxophone in middle school, producing along the way, producing in college was really the main drive for me. I got a DAW. I was going to shows all the time, and I just, started wanting to make beats. That's what I wanted to do. I didn't know what they were yet, but I wanted to make what I was seeing. I was going to a lot of shows, and that's in every genre. And I just kind of wanted to be there.
Okay, so you're from Cali, and you ended up migrating to Colorado. How old were you?
When I moved to Colorado, I was 14 the first time.
Okay,
yeah.
So that's still young.
Yeah.
That's still young. At that age, did you already see that there was a difference in the music scene between California and Colorado, or were you even aware of that type of thing yet?
I wasn't really, no. I was just a kid listening to music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for me, it's like, I'm from Colorado. We always knew there was a difference from Cali. That's why I asked that.
We didn't even think there was a music scene when I came out here.
Yeah.
And I wasn't like, the music scene in Colorado,
Yeah.
It was more like I was leaving it, but I really didn't know what I had when I was there, honestly. I feel like I did, but I didn't really truly know while in California growing up through that, like how much just art and entertainment was around me. It just felt like it was second nature. Like I already blended into it. You would go to Starbucks and see, Stevie Wonder.
There's high level entertainment.
Yeah, man. It's just a normal thing.
So you and I have talked about this, but if there's so many opportunities and such high level quality out there, why do you stay out here in Colorado?
Because I feel like there's opportunity to be built here. I feel like the scene that I, found myself tying myself to more in electronic music is out here in Providence. There's just uncharted waters to swim. Yeah.
Do you think maybe the type of EDM you're into doesn't get as much appreciation in Cali?
I think it does. I think I'm into a bunch of EDM.
Right.
And I make a bunch of different genres. I wouldn't even want to call it plainly just EDM. I make more just dance music, right?
True.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it's appreciating more now here than it was before when I first got here. I'll definitely say that.
So, and I think that level of self-awareness as a human has probably been what led to your brand positioning. But what about your background as a person helped shape that type of awareness in your brand, would you say?
I think I was always just raised to be aware of my surroundings, what was going on, to move like you would, like nothing was different no matter what circumstance you might have found yourself in. Growing up that way and being taught that way, it's kind of what shapes my mindset about, where I am and where I want to be today, I would say.
Valid. So now that you are here, you're, past 14, you kind of grew up, you figured out, all right, music's for me. Like you said, you got a DAW. Everyone in Colorado wants to play Red Rocks, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
If you had to choose between one Red Rock show and then your career's over, or a long, sustainable career but you never touch Red Rocks, what are you choosing?
Long, sustainable career where all I got to do is make music and that's all I do is my source of my life, what drives me? Man, take the fucking ladder, come on now.
Right.
I don't have to play one show. It would be nice though. Definitely my goals.
Can I ask why a lot of artists, rappers too, why do artists get this idea that it's like, all I gotta do is get so big that I can play Red Rocks? They think that it's like this Like, that's it. Like, I just wake up tomorrow and you're like, you know what? If Red Rocks calls me, I'm gonna go play. And there's just so many missed steps.
I know. There's just like there's places you gotta get to before you get there. Because they're just like, if I just do anything to get to that one show, even if it's the opening slot, I swear, man. Yeah.
What does that realistically look like? If your Red Rocks was 10 years away, what do those next 10 years look like?
10 years look fun, driven, and profitable, I think. Really, it's just about understanding that music, if it's truly your passion, as it is mine, you gotta find a different avenue to do for yourself. It's not always gonna be touring every day, every night, getting a million streams. I'm realistic about that, but I also do think I got something, I got something to deliver. And as having something to deliver, it just makes me feel like I'm truly...
You got purpose.
I got a purpose. I truly got a purpose, yeah.
No, I feel you. It's almost like it spills out of you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I've been the type of person in my life where my ideas run through me faster than I can keep up with. And you are someone who embodies that 110%.
100.
But when you're in output mode, it's locked in.
Oh, definitely.
Hits. What got you to the point of making such polished professional music? Because everybody picks up a DAW.
Yeah.
Right, but your music sounds crispy. My way.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. It's what it's really about is just like, being obsessed, man. And understanding that like you should never limit yourself in your knowledge. Mm-hmm. If you really truly care about something, you're gonna learn everything you need to learn about it to become the best that you can at it, right? For me, I had my, struggles. I think songwriting was probably one of my strengths starting, but like I couldn't mix or master to save my life. Mm-hmm. A lot of people just stop there and they're like, I'll go hire somebody. I'm like, nah, I gotta get myself right, understand how to do this, so I can not only save money and become sustainable, but two, like, have the knowledge, man. Because if someone does something for you and you don't know how they did it, then how you gonna know it was good?
Mm-hmm. You saw me right in that low point in myself. I'm like, bro, I'm about to give up on this low end shit. I swear to God.
Yeah.
I was figuring it all out, but that low end shit is... What was your secret for the producers and the nerds out there, right? And okay, real quick for the layman's terms, we're talking about when the sub bass goes brrrr and takes over the whole song. How do you avoid that, but still make it feel like you're swimming in great, big, loud bass?
Well, if the sub bass is going good, then you probably need like put a slight little low cut on that thing. Or I mean, honestly, if you get a lot of rumble in the 60s, 30s, 30 hertz range, all about just a dynamic EQ to just tame it and then listen to it and then test it on different speakers. But most likely, what you really want to be doing on that is going to have some monitors, and if you can have a sub, can get yourself into a studio where you can actually hear that frequency, it'd be nice. But after a while, man, I was producing on headphones and I figured that shit out,
Are you a low-end limiter type of guy, or do you
no, man. I mean, my low end, I like to keep pretty soft and pure. Just, when I mean soft, pure. I mean, like...
Transient.
No. I would say pure is in the way, like, I want it smooth. I don't want a bunch of processing down there. I just want a nice, solid sound. From there, everything above that 60, 80, I would say, is kind of like stuff I want to process. But, like, below that, man, it's just...
All right, well, that was nerdy shit for all you nerds out there.
Yeah.
They'll take that sauce because it is good sauce. Speaking of bass, do you think that the bass scene in Colorado is sort of like a strength to your career, or does it feel like sort of like a hindrance or a roadblock?
I mean, I think a scene is a strength to my career. Any place with a scene, anything with a scene, you got to get yourself out there and put yourself out there. I think that was the toughest thing for me when I first started, for sure.
And I agree kind of in the, like, I always relate it to the hip hop realm because that's more of what I understand, but I think that so many people are like, oh, the people, the fans, the scene, they suck, they're not doing their job, and it's like, if you go get involved with the people, you can be the people's champion. And it's just a little bit less personal, maybe, in the dance world. And I wonder why that is. Do you think that, like, there's as much of like an artist celebrity stardom to the dance world as there is the rapper world?
I don't think there's a want to be that for most people. Most people just want to have a great time making music they love and dancing music they love with people, and that's okay for a lot of people. I mean, shit, that's okay for me in a sense. But I know that as you level up as an artist, whether it's the dance world or it's hip hop world, there's a sort of celebrity that also comes with sort of hatred. You're gonna have envy coming from another side. So pretty much, it's where you want to be, but I think there's a lot less wants to be that guy, that girl, or him or her, you know, in the dance music community.
Bro, I ran into headaches one time when
Yeah.
I was an Uber driver, and I didn't know who that was necessarily. And I was just like, "Oh, you make music, bro?" He's like, "Yeah." I was like, you know, and his guy, his manager, kind of laughed or whatever. And I was like, "What are you laughing?" I was like, "Is it kind of big?" I was like, "How many monthly followers do you have?" He was like, "I don't know, like 12 million, 13 million." I was like, "Oh, you big like that?" I was like, "Okay." So I figured out who Headaches was while he was in my back seat. But it just felt like I was just chatting with somebody. And I was just chatting with a person because he's just a normal guy. But we lose that sense of reality sometimes, even as artists, right? Do you think fame can get in the way of what people's original goals were?
Most definitely. Fame is what gets in the way. You know, greed, pride, money, everything that's going to be in my way eventually, you know. It's how you handle it. Everyone's going to face it at some point.
How do we handle women? I feel like I'm cool with greed and all of it, but
how do we handle
ladies,
women?
bro?
I mean,
what's your secret? How do you block that out or mix it in sparingly or tastefully?
Man, I would say you just have to have priorities, right? You know, you have to get your shit straight. Like, what am I going out to do? Am I out here to network? Am I out here to schmooze? You know, like, what am I trying to do?
And you spend a lot of time in out, you know, other cities and stuff outside of Colorado. What's your favorite what's your favorite subculture? Like, who have you name a club or something, or somewhere you've been that you're just like, you know what, this could be like my second home away from home. You know what I mean?
Man. Damn.
I'll give you mine. Mine is Atlanta, and you were there with me.
That was the time.
And it was a great time and a terrible time.
Yeah, this nigga was pissed. He said, I didn't get to play. He's like, we was over there hanging out. I was like,
but I live for the vibe there. You know what I mean?
Bro, that was such a good vibe. The Airbnb, I loved everything about that trip. It was fun, except for, you know, you not being able to get to do what you needed to do.
Crashing out.
It is what it is, right?
It happens. Yeah. Where's somewhere else you love to go?
LA. I'm always gonna love home. You know, Vegas, Arizona for a bit. I like Boulder when I was up there. I mean, man, there's just a lot of places. To say I have one unique subculture that I just love to vibe with would be tough, and it'd be like, you know.
I think Boulder kind of deserves a shout out because it's almost kind of it's like an island. It's like a little snow-capped fucking island away from Denver. People associate it with Denver or all of Colorado, but you kind of go there and you like lose yourself for a few.
That's for sure. I'll tell you that. You go there, you're like, damn, wasn't it Sunday when I got here? Now it's Thursday. The days don't even make sense. Like, it's a work week. But yeah, I feel you.
There's too much money floating around, and everybody has like no priorities. So you just get lumped into that.
Yeah. Dragged out there. That's funny.
So would you say Boulder or actually let's go Denver or Colorado in general? Would you say it's more collaborative, or would you think that it's like kind of political? Like, do people like working together in the EDM in the dance scene?
I mean, everything's political to a certain sense, right? You have to have a certain ego about yourself. Like, I'm a hippie away that like I like to bring something to everybody, bro. Like, I really don't care, man. I like to work with everybody from small to, you know, advanced, because I feel like I'm more of a teacher in this way that it's small. Sometimes, you know, you don't have time for that, but like, I would say like most of the time I enjoy working with like people who are maybe just not, you know, gotten to the level of production that maybe I have or something like that. It's fun. But, you know, I would say there's definitely a sense of politics in Colorado, but definitely not as much as like LA, New York, Miami, or something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so dance might not be as politicky as it is in somewhere else, but do you think that the rap scene fucks with y'all?
Bro.
You know I do.
I mean, nigga, I don't give a fuck, you know?
I know. But it would be cool if they did more.
That would be dope, but like I rap, right? So like it's like, you know, at the end of the day, I mean, I don't really need another nigga to fuck with me to make the music that I want to make.
True.
Humbly.
That's the producer. That's a producer on any level, not just dance or rap or whatever you make. You never feel like you need somebody else because it's also autonomous and independent and one person, right? But that's because of the time you've put in. How many? I know you're past your 10,000 hours. How many hours would you say that you've wasted while learning how to produce music?
Wasted? Tons, bro.
People forget about that part.
Yeah, dog. So many hours wasted. Just not even fucking like understanding basic workflow, you know? For me, was my biggest It was definitely my biggest hang up. Like trying to get that down. And it's the hours I spent just like spinning in a circle, staying in an 8-bar loop, trying to think that this is the best thing ever. And then you make it, and you're like, by the time you arrange the song out, you're like, what was I even doing with this thing, right? Mm-hmm. So yeah, that lots of hours.
And I think you told me recently, Ableton kind of has its own processes to help with that, right? What were you saying? It's like song view. What is it?
Arrangement view and there's session view. So there's two different views. Like, I mean, if you're playing instruments live, instrumentation session views for you, you can look at it and kind of like track as things are being added in to each session. Now, arrangement view is where most people, like, you know, in the space that don't like play anything in are gonna be. Well, I mean, you're just in there anyway most of the time. Let's just go with that.
The playlist.
The playlist, yeah. And from there, you can, it helps the workflow a bunch. I mean, but like, markers are going to be the thing that for me, changed how I used to produce. Okay, I want to get here. So I'm writing a song already without even knowing how to write a song, you know? I'm like organizing it. And that's how you get better at writing a song. You got to write a bunch.
The drop is the end goal.
The drop. Oh, okay, I'm going to start with a drop. 8 bars or whatever. That's how long this guy's drop is. And then, or, 16 bars here, I want to do this, and then I'm going to work backwards, or I'm going to work forwards,
That seems so simplistic, but when you're fucking 18 years old and you just sat down to a computer for the 3rd time in a row, ever, you know what I mean? Like, you just start to overthink shit.
Definitely, bro. I mean, truly every, industry professional at the time that I was learning would tell me, yo, just take a reference track and do that, right? I found the problem was for me when I first started producing is my reference tracks sounded way too much like the tracks that I was making, and I'm like, dog, I just don't want to do this. But like, it's truly like, it's smart, especially if you don't know how to write a song. Like, you don't play any instruments, or you just don't know anything about basic song arrangement. Like, when you're starting, that's how we do. You got to make sure that
it teaches you like sound selection.
Yeah,
almost
sound selection. You're gonna realize you have to spend like lots of years in picking very bad sounds to understand how to pick a good sound.
It took me so long.
Yeah.
You don't understand that until you can really do it.
Until you know what a bad sound is. Yeah. Like, you really just gotta be like, damn. Because like when you stop lying to yourself, the first 15 tracks you make, you're like, damn, it's hitting. When it's really just not, And then you compare it to the song and you're lying to yourself. Like, I mean, at least I was. I don't know about a lot of other people, but for me, maybe it's just my mind didn't know what good was yet, but like I would tell myself that, oh, it's okay, it's different like that, and then eventually you get to the point where you're just like, damn, no,
absolutely,
it's not there.
So that being said, you've gone from picking great sounds, having made great music, and you were talking about mixing and mastering.
Mm-hmm.
What about the mixing and mastering process do you think is your biggest bottleneck? Versus production itself.
I would say mixing is so tedious, man. So like setting myself up for success is like not being lazy is the best thing. Like if I do the things that I'm supposed to do, like you have the racks, you set them up, you make sure that you mix a sound to a certain level before going and moving on to the next thing. Don't just leave it all like dry, sounding like shit, because then you get to the end, you're like, damn, I don't want to be doing this, trying to tweak everything. So
mix as you go.
Yeah, definitely.
I agree with that. And another thing that I noticed about your music is like, I will want to, it has replayability because I'm missing certain sounds that I only heard in other parts of the song.
Yep.
And what I've heard that described that as like progressive, or, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. What got you to the point that you were like understanding how to do that?
I mean, I think I just naturally figured that out. I mean, I looked at a few songs, right? And after I like really stopped, I would say like a year and a half in, after I like was not using a reference track every single time, I kind of just, it was my own thing. I'm like, okay, I think that if I want to write a section here, if I want to set it up, like think about it like if it's like a hockey player or something like that. You got your hockey assist, your second pass before your first pass, right? To goal. You want to set up that section that you want everybody to be jumping at before with a section that has something just a little less than the section that you want to set up. You know what I'm saying? So like half of, like, hey, you have a big sound here. Gigantic, like, I don't know, saw or something. Mm-hmm. Maybe you just have a little stuttered variation of that in the section before to tease that. And yeah.
So those sections, when you're playing them and you're bumping them, you're like, all right, we vibing this. Is it always just you, or do you like to make music in a studio full of people to test the vibe?
I am such a soloist. I mean, as I've gotten better and bigger, I think that, making music with with other people has been very, 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 very helpful. But I would say before I was just like I was a solo guy, and then I would send it to people. Obviously, you want to get as much feedback on a track as possible, but like in terms of making it in the studio, people, just me.
So, okay, so you're on your own most of the time in the studio, but then you have to go out into the world and live the nightlife. Would you say that the nightlife is a contrast from how you live your studio life? Do you have a different, do you have to turn on a different switch, or are you still just kind of chilling every time you hit the club too?
You gotta turn on a switch, I would say. There's a lot of distractions, and those aren't, present in my normal life. So going out to conduct yourself like that is definitely a different experience.
Agreed. Distractions, I think we all know what those can be.
Yes,
right?
they can. Yeah.
Money, girls, cars, clothes. Does that make you feel like you're missing out on certain things? Like do you ever wake up being like, damn, all this focus I got, all this discipline I got, a nigga just want to go get some bitches? You know what I mean? Because that's the rapper mindset, but we just rap about it. I feel like there's a little bit less release on your guys' end, and that's how you end up in weird shit like who's the cake guy? Getter and shit. You know what I mean? Like he's a great talented guy, but it's like you guys need release. You know what I mean?
I mean, there's still plenty of release, bro. Like,
okay, so let's go on that. What are some of your healthy releases?
Go to the gym. Gotta be. It has to be. Going to the gym has gotten me over so many things, man. I can't. That's
cool.
Okay, yeah.
No, I've seen the gym process for you. I remember when you weren't hitting the gym very much at all. You've grown a lot from that. Do you have like a diet regimen that you're on right now too?
Right now I'm gonna cut, but it's not where it needs to be right now, diet wise. I would say, like, I need to really lock in, and that's the plan.
That's all right, bro. I remember there's days I see you have like two full water fucking jugs on you and shit. Like there's days where you're not playing about it. You're better off than a lot of us. How did that distraction culture lead to that healthy culture for you? Because I've seen you in probably both phases of life. Not like you were down bad, ever, but I have seen you distracted and I've seen you healthy. Do you think that the one led to the other, or that they can coexist, or what?
Coexist, they can, but like, I think they can coexist. But like, definitely distracted led to me, deciding, hey, I need to really just lock in, focus on why I'm here and what I'm doing this for.
Fuck yeah. Yeah. Health is wealth.
Yeah.
I was just talking with my grandma a few days, yesterday, and we had a 3-hour conversation in the same spot, and the more I realized, like, her experiences are dope, bro, but like, you gotta just like learn through other people sometimes. You don't have to go learn the hard way with every single thing, So I was grateful to listen to her. Would you say there's still a pressure from the fans, or like I said earlier, the women that you meet, to fall into that party just to maybe like retain that visibility, just to be like, hey, I'm down to clown, I'm part of the village, I'm part of the scene, Would you ever say that that's pressure on your end?
Repeat that question one more time.
So in the rap village, like, you can be the J. Cole, right? You can. Oh shit! I think my audio stopped recording. Let me check it out real quick. You can be the J. Cole, right? You don't and not really party with anybody, or not spend too much time at the club. But then the girls are gonna say, oh, he don't throw no money. He's fruity. He's this. He's that, right? And then it's like, do you feel like the girls are standing there at the turntables like, you're boring, bro. Come get fucked up with us. You know what I mean?
I don't think I haven't met many women. There's few, but like, that are about that culture. Typically, though, they're not the ones instigating that. Typically, okay. I've seen others be the ones who typically throw that into the play.
That's a shot at you men, bro.
Are they involved? Are they involved 100%? Like no one's not at fault.
They're the motivation, probably.
Definitely. What are they not the motivation?
For everything, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting. Okay, I didn't think about that. In my mind it's always like, hey, the stripper said y'all ain't throwing no money, you can go home. But no, I never thought about it being like, oh, bro's not down, bro's not fucking down. So have you distanced yourself from certain environments because of said distractions or said pressure?
Distance myself man, as much as you can, you know, they're gonna always be there. You know, you can distance yourself from people.
But this is your job.
It's to go out and, you know, entertain. So, like,
yeah. That might, you know, a lot of people in my life, they're like, you run around with them gangsters, bro. You get what you get. And I'm like, well, that's my job.
What am I supposed to do? Go around people who can't rap.
There you go.
Can't sing.
There you go.
Can't make music.
Plumbers and
who don't have exciting lives. I mean, I understand. Like, it's cool. Like, but it's hard, definitely, to keep yourself away.
Who are some of the rappers? Because you've been mentioning both genres too, as much as I have. But that's all I do is talk about hip hop. But who are some of the rappers or hip hop artists that you found yourself influenced by along the way?
Damn, man, it's always gonna be Kanye West, #1.
Your twin.
My twin. I be called out all the time. I don't truly believe that, like, it's there from a looks perspective. I'll say from a production perspective, man. Just an artist, like a guy who's just damn, man. You know, for me.
I was watching the Genius documentary with
Yeah.
my girl, and she was like, "It's Drew." Young Kanye.
Young Kanye.
So that's just like, it's like.
I mean, I see it in terms of the vision, man. You know, you know, like the soul that man wanted to bring to his music and the people is like, you know, that's kind of what I'm trying to do here. But
good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you. Yeah, Kanye is a big deal. Who are some of the EDM artists that maybe you were inspired by at the start of all of this?
Start of my dance career would have to be freaking Disclosure, #1. Man, and Disclosure's been an influence of mine throughout this entire process. No matter how many genres I've switched, they've always been just the way that they combine pop and dance is just wow, right?
So from an outsider, like you know, some people talk about rap and they just know Biggie and Tupac. That's how I feel about dance music. But I do remember it was like everything was charming, and then Disclosure happened, and it was like a new version.
Whoa.
That's how it felt to me. So
you are misinformed, brother.
Please explain.
Brother, you're way
that's
misinformed. Disclosure's been around for way longer, in my opinion. I mean, my opinion, I've known them, and like Chami was more like a 2015, earlier than that. Now I'm like,
yeah, for me, Chami was like 2011, maybe.
Yeah, but like Disclosure was there. They've been here for a while. Yeah.
See, and that's what I mean is because I wasn't hearing of them until they had radio-ready hits in America. Like
yeah, that was 2012. I don't think Chami. Yeah, I'm not even gonna do. I'm not gonna do.
I need the education.
I'm not sure when Chami had his first like radio hit.
Let's look it up. That's why I'm out there.
Yeah, right.
Because and again, a lot of it is underground, right? Like when you're fucking pulling up hits on SoundCloud and shit, it's like who can really say when someone's first big record is? But it's like. That's how I noticed it. Like I said, from an outsider's perspective. So yeah, it says one of Chami's first big ones was December 5th, 2013, and obviously Disclosure had been popping by then for sure.
Most definitely.
But I didn't really hear Disclosure's name until was it Sam Smith?
Yeah, that would be Latch. That'd be 2012.
Is that when that dropped?
I'm almost positive it was 2012.
Cool. Oh, 13 years ago. We're old, bro. We are fucking old.
Speak for yourself, man. I just saw something on Instagram. He's like, put your finger down. You know, every time I say something that resonates with you, that means you're old if you have no fingers at the end of it.
It was also 2013, so they were the same year.
Yeah.
Weird. So maybe I was just fucking with Chami in the underground, and then I got hit with the mainstream Disclosure, right? I
think the first song you told me that you heard from Chami would be that one, and We Are Your Friends, which is that remix that he made with DJ Snake and Little George. I think that's the first one.
That sounds right, bro.
Yeah, and that's and then that's gonna be like, so that's even a little later.
Might have seen those at like some of my first Red Rock shows.
Definitely.
What were some of your first dance shows that you can remember going to?
First,
I know those are big memories for everybody.
Wow.
Or maybe first shows, period.
First dance show that I ever went to would have to be. Yeah, so I think it was like Black Tiger Sex Machine. That was like in 2015. I don't have a video of that show though, but I do remember. It brought up a memory because I was on Instagram and I was scrolling and they said, "Oh, BTS," and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I remember that from way back in the day." But like first show, I would say, damn, I went to I went to a Little Pump show, bro. I remember that. Dude, I went to Little Pump during the SoundCloud era. That was tough.
It was probably lit.
That dude, he jumped off of he jumped off of the balcony, bro. That shit was tough as fuck. I was like, what the hell?
I got to see Lil Xan at that same time.
That's so tough.
And I didn't know 2 songs by him, but it was a great show.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, the SoundCloud era was lit for sure. Do you think that'll ever not... Like, do you think the SoundCloud era ever really ended in dance?
100% did, bro.
Yeah.
When you can't release a remix without getting copyright flagged,
Ooh.
you're kind of cooked, in my opinion. Like, you gotta be so strategic about how you do that now.
Do you think rappers ruined SoundCloud?
I don't think rappers ruined SoundCloud. I think the industry, I think SoundCloud ruined SoundCloud when they started charging and trying to pay people and all this shit. Like, it's just like, it became messy,
What inflated them to the point that they could start charging? Like, why did
they wanted to just be like, like Spotify and shit. I'm like, but that's not Spotify. It doesn't have to be Spotify.
So, where do you feel like you fit in the next few years of the Colorado scene?
Few years, man. Where I see myself in a few years is established as someone who's multifaceted, not one only multi-genre, but also, multiverse in terms of I got music out that has me strictly producing, but I also have music out that has me doing this entire project that I wanted to do it, which is me rapping, singing, and doing the production.
Is it true that in dance music, is it true today that the best marketed song is the best song? Like, is that what gets
that's
biggest?
True.
Or is it about talent anymore?
I mean, that's true in every single genre. The song that gets marketed the best is going to do the best in terms of streams, which means you're gonna get the most money for it. If that's your goal, then for sure you need to market your music. So yeah.
Are there some interesting tactics that you've noticed in marketing that maybe you can pinpoint, or that maybe you're gonna avoid because you've seen it played out already?
Yeah, I mean, well, the playlist world, right? Everyone knows what the playlist world. You can pay for plays to an extent if your song's good enough, but at the same time, are those plays people who actually like your music, or are they just putting yourself on a playlist to listen to it and forget about it for the rest of the life?
So pay to play is happening in the dance world also.
It does, yeah.
Okay. So can you pay to play shows too?
You can definitely pay to play shows.
Yeah.
For sure. Do you have a brand? That's the question. Can you sell tickets?
So would you say it's so here's something I'm facing in the ticket scene in Colorado rap.
For sure.
You ask someone, can you sell tickets? They say yes, and what they do is they pay you for the tickets, and then they hand them out for free, and they don't actually have any fans, and then they can't grow past those 10 friends that they invited for free. How do you actually grow and let people know, hey man, this is good music? Because a lot of people that I'm talking about do have good music, but sometimes that feels like that's the cap. What's the next level to that marketing scheme?
That would be social media, right?
Yeah.
And you can't avoid it today.
Yeah.
It's not one of those things that's optional. So, I mean, you just got to put yourself out there all the freaking time. And I see a lot of people who don't. I mean, and to each their own. But if you want to grow globally, you got to put yourself out there.
Agreed. And then, so there's maybe fractions of money in streaming anymore. How do people make money off of music?
So many ways. There's sync licensing. That's something I just learned about that I'm going to be getting way more into. I would say, yeah, definitely placements are always going to be something. And that means through other artists, through movies, through TV. That's still same thing as kind of like sync licensing world. There's doing stuff for other artists, finding something. What's the question of business? Like, if you're in business, how do you make a business? You find a problem and you make a solution for it, right? So it's what is a problem that's plaguing other artists? Fix that problem, you'll make some money.
Provide a service.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. Yeah. I totally agree. You're in action right now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So do you think that there's pieces of your lifestyle or personality that get overlooked a little bit because you're so just lost in just having great music? Not lost, but enveloped, I would say. You're
Definitely.
Enveloped in having great music, so maybe they miss out on other cool parts of you. Like, you're fucking allergic to fucking strawberries. I don't know.
We're not giving out allergies here. Just to make sure that no one's trying to kill me, Can't be giving out that kind of information. But, Definitely, I would say that music has enveloped a large amount of my personality. That's a weird way to say that, but it's enveloped a large amount of who I am. So, I mean, yeah, it definitely shows out in my personality, how I carry myself. It's something I always want to show people, but been getting better at, tuning that back a little bit and becoming just more comfortable and, wanting to be something else besides just the guy who makes music.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I totally feel you. Like, you just gotta wake up some days and be like, nah, it's me, bro.
Today's a day for something else. How else can I impact the world today?
So, like you said a second ago, you're like, you gotta move into social media, and with that social media, it obviously builds your brand. But
for sure.
Something else that impacts brand, kind of, especially in the producer world for some reason, because they talk less than the artist, right? So something that you rely on heavily is reputation. Have you ever seen a reputation make or break somebody's chance or moment?
100%. Who you are is definitely capable of ruining and stopping any momentum you had going up. So, I mean, I myself try to be very cautious of how I, let myself be seen out, and that's definitely a way to halt your growth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have a lot of, famous people and leaders and crazy people doing a lot of crazy things these days. So it's almost like more fun to be like, it's like fly to be a safe man these days.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you can get famous. I mean, what's the goal here? Are we trying to get poppin', or are we trying to be poppin' for music?
Be respected.
Be respected for music, right? And even poppin' for music. Are we trying to come up the right way, I would say, or are we trying to become just,
social media fodder?
Yeah, just a freaking issue,
Mm-hmm. An issue.
That's my... you can get... I know plenty.
So it can look, it can look like it's glamorous, it can look like it's fun, but what does an actual week look like say you had a week off with your regular job, if you have a regular job, and everything was just music only. What does 1 week look like, Monday to Sunday? What are you doing?
It's organized, so pretty much when the day starts, it's early. We're at 6:30 pretty much. We get to the gym. Gym's first thing. It's got to be the first thing, because if I don't go to the gym first thing, then I don't really want to be going. From there, if work's what's happening, then we're going. Studio time, for sure. So definitely in every day. I need to be in every day doing something for 2 hours, whether that means mixing, mastering, trying to make something. But again, I try my best to make sure that certain days are meant for certain things. So, yeah.
Hell yeah. And does that gym discipline kind of lead to, well, in my opinion, when I'm have my gym clarity or my physical clarity after the gym, it just leads to better decision making. You know what I mean? Are there some days when you're not so inspired, but you still sit down and cook anyway?
Yeah, of course. Those are the best days.
There you go.
Yeah.
I agree. Talk about that.
I mean, when you're not inspired, you make yourself inspired. It's not going to be the best song, maybe, but you write the song out. You have a process, And if you keep attacking this thing with the same process over and over again, those days that you lack inspiration are going to be very few and far between. And also, you're able to attack those head on and be like, fuck that. Nah, I'm going to go look at this wall and get inspired.
And that doesn't mean attack the same 8-bar loop.
Yeah, that means fucking write the song out. Exactly.
Yeah, it means finish music.
Finish music, man.
Perfect or not.
Perfect or not. Yeah, exactly.
What got you from over-polishing to prioritizing complete tracks?
Well, because an over-polished 8-bar loop isn't going to go anywhere. Can't sell that. You definitely can't play that out. I mean, I guess you can, but I saw that I had a goal at that time to get track records signed, release and get streams. So I felt like the only way to do that is you gotta just do what you know, and just finish the shit and then release it. Well, I was bad at releasing. I'll tell you, I would still sit there and be like, is it still good enough, right? When in reality it might have not been, it might have been, but going in.
Mixes are subjective too.
Yeah, and I don't know about that, man. Like they are, but like there's a limit, you know.
There is. That's
You got to be
100% true.
like if your music can't be like understood on like on a system, for example,
Okay.
or
Valid.
played out, like people aren't gonna play it.
And there's AI metadata reading your music to see how the quality is too. So I would say for my mixing, that's what my biggest thing is. I want to be put into playlists with people of quality music, and it's not just always humans doing that, right? So
Oh, for sure. No.
yeah, but no, I agree. It's like my thing with my music is be like, I know it's good, but do I go for top end vocal presence or do I go for bass and the vibe of the song, right? And it's like after a while, bro, like just put out what you like to listen to. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
And you just gotta
What are you vibing with? That's the best thing. You know, if you know what you're vibing with, then you release what you're vibing with, and there's gonna be other people who are vibing with it as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a niche for everybody.
There's a niche for everybody. You can't let it be, and you can't let, especially I would say, your friends, your people who are like close to you, determine your taste and curate your catalog.
100%. 100%. Speaking of friends influencing you or other outside sources, do you feel like people purport their lives in the dance scene the way that they do in the rap culture? Like, do you feel like some of the guys are faking it a little bit?
I mean, yeah, but you gotta fake it. I mean, yeah, there's people who are, embellishing what they have, but I wouldn't say as much as the rap scene, no.
Okay.
I feel like in the rap scene, it's necessary. No one's gonna take you serious as a rapper if you're not like, always all the time. Like, and there's a scene for it, but like, I would say there's a large amount of a following that isn't gonna take you seriously until you're popping as a rapper. Whereas in dance, there's a lot of love, much more love for the underground.
That's valid. Love for the underground.
Yeah.
That's the truth. And it's you can't really like I don't know how you're gonna fake it as a dance producer unless you just have 1,000 people dancing in front of you. You know
Like, bro, you can have the most like. First of all, a car wouldn't even be relevant in this scenario, but
exactly.
It's like you could have the flyest car, right, and the baddest bitch, but then if you come out and then you play and you suck, like, then what?
Okay, so play and you suck. Let's define that, because for some people they don't know the difference between producing a song, mixing it, spinning it, or being a DJ for other people's shit and spinning their music. So what does play and suck look like?
Play and suck means you just have a crowd that just does not want to be there. They probably have, half themselves since they've been suck. I mean, like, you don't know how to read a crowd, you know how to play music out. That's a DJ skill though, right? I mean, so you'll see, like, for example, I make a lot of music that's like pop driven. I'm not gonna go out there and play a bunch of pop songs for niggas, bro. You know? That's not what people are there to see. They're there to dance for most of the time, for a house show. If I'm in a live performance, different kind of thing. But if you're like DJing, I'm gonna make people dance, right? So you can weave them in, but like it's really just about keeping that energy up.
So you can produce whatever you want at any given moment.
Exactly.
When it's time to DJ,
you got to play what's gonna make them move. And does that mean remixing? That's crazy. Remixing your own songs? Yes, I love doing that shit, bro.
Okay.
Some people are just like, oh, that's crazy. Like he's remixing. No, dude, just flip your songs and make like different versions. I love that shit. Yeah.
Hell yeah. That's what's up. Yeah, we need to drop a couple versions of our next one for sure.
Yeah.
What are you doing right now that 90% of other local DJs are not doing?
90%, I would say. Consistently posting on social media.
That's a big deal.
Making reels, understanding how to create content, and understanding that the influencer world is important to understand. Just because you don't want to be one, like knowing how good content looks and how to make that is very, 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 very
powerful.
Lacking.
Yeah.
Among local DJs, I would say.
And it's powerful when you can use it. You know what I mean? Is there any like? I would say, is there any like trend on social media that you're turning down? Like if you ever like, I see some shit and it'll be like, my mom's reaction to my song. And it's like, bro, you guys could come out to the club and meet my grandma. If you want. You know what I mean? Like I don't have to put her on Instagram. But I just feel like it's gimmicky sometimes with the content creator world versus just getting respected for music. How do you balance that?
I mean, you gotta be okay with being cringe, in my opinion. There's a point where I thought anything was cringe. You make a little video, front facing, and you talk about how you made your song. Oh, if I said it the wrong way, that's cringe. But like, you gotta be okay with it. I mean, everyone has their line, but for me, there ain't too much I wouldn't do, you know, when it comes to just trying to promote and make music and put it out there for people.
So I think today, or at least yesterday, Neon, the streamer, is in the city. If
Really?
you could tell Neon to stop one place for food, where would you tell him to stop?
Neon to stop one place for food, bro. Damn. Water Grill's pretty hard. That place goes.
Ooh.
Yeah, that place is good, bro. That place is pretty good.
Off of like 15th or whatever.
Yeah, like that place hits. Yeah, so do that, Neon.
Yeah, shout out to Water Grill.
Or wait, gotta switch that back. If you like sushi, you gotta be up at Izakaya Den or Sushi Den, one of those two places.
So what is it called?
Izakaya Den or Sushi Den, one of those two places.
Izakaya Den or
Sushi Den, right next to each other.
Alright.
Get up there.
Alright. Shout out to the dens. Oh, Denver. Oh, that's valid. Denver.
Yeah.
I thought about that for a while too. Okay, if you disappeared tomorrow, what's one thing that the local scene would lose?
Me.
He said me, bro.
Yeah, me.
I'm a fucking human.
Yeah.
I said I matter. That's valid. One thing before you go, for educational purposes, a lot of people think that DJs just press play. What does it actually mean to be a DJ?
It means to be able to beat match and seamlessly blend songs together, you know, like, or just, you know, that would be DJing. Some people are just producers and they play shows, and that's totally fine too, you know, but to be a DJ, I think you got to be able to at least, you know, beat match and blend two songs seamlessly together.
And like you said, read the room to see what
Read
those
the
two
room
songs
as
are
well.
gonna be.
I mean, definitely.
You can't just have only two songs loaded up all 8 hours of your day. And
Yeah,
show to
like
the club and
just
it'll be
go. I mean, you can't. I mean, when you get to a certain level, you can. I would say for sure. As you get popping, like you can just be like, I make bangers. I'm Skrillex, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like
I have seen Mustard do a dance set before. That
Mustard
shit's
is
tight.
it? Yeah, he does do that. Yeah,
Mhm.
he's made some dance tracks too.
Kills it.
Yeah,
Kills it. That was the first time I heard Boot Up, or Boot Up by LMA.
Really?
Before it came out on the radio. We
fire.
were just in the club like, what is this? It was crazy.
All right.
Hell yeah, man. Travis Drew. Thank you for
Drew.
coming by, man. Is there
course.
anything you want to let the people know before you go?
Got some new music coming out. Few weeks. Got a pre-save link in my bio. You know, and be on the lookout for a bunch of other content. I am Travis Drew on Instagram and all other social media. So there you go.
All
Finish it up, Sean.
All right.
my God. Appreciate you.